Today, in the world of social media and online influencers, it can be very, very easy to lose sight of the rights that a Muslim has upon another Muslim. It is a serious thing when you take to a keyboard or you get yourself in front of a camera and you're addressing another Muslim. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had a lot to say about the care and sincerity and loyalty and respect that we're supposed to have for fellow Muslims. In an authentic hadith that a Muslim recorded, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, لا تحاسدوا ولا تناجشوا ولا تباغضوا ولا تدابروا ولا بيع بعضكم على بيع بعض وكونوا عباد الله إخوانا المسلم أخو المسلم لا يظلمه ولا يحقره ولا يخذله التقوى ها هنا. And then he pointed to his chest 3 times. The meaning of this hadith, and it doesn't end there, is that when it comes to how a Muslim should treat another Muslim, there is a certain protocol. We don't treat Muslims the way we treat non-Muslims. The fact that you are a person of the Shahada, the fact that you are a person of the Qibla, the fact that you are a person of the Sunnah, or that you are Ahl Sunnah, has certain rights, right? It entails certain rights. And you have to take those rights seriously, even when your brother errs, even when your brother makes a mistake, even when you want to guide them back to the truth. There has to be a protocol, and there's red lines, and there are guardrails. There are certain things that should not be transgressed. And so, one of the more comprehensive parts of the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, Kunu ibadallahi ikhwana. Be worshippers of Allah or servants of Allah, brothers, as brothers. So the first thing that we have to understand is that, yes, we're not supposed to envy one another, despise one another. We're not supposed to carry rancor and hatred for each other in our hearts. He doesn't oppress his Muslim brother. He doesn't belittle or despise his Muslim brother. And then at the end of the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, بِحَسْبِ امْرِئٍ مِنَ الشَّرِّ أَنْ يَحْقِرَ أَخَاهُ الْمُسْلِمِ. He said, it's sufficiently evil, meaning that the evil that is done from despising or belittling your brother Muslim is sufficient evil. So take all the other possible evils that you could do, whether it's zina, whether it's bid'ah, whether it's stealing, whether it's backbiting, all these sorts of other sins. He says it's sufficiently evil that you would belittle or despise your brother. And then the final thing that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said in this hadith, extremely important and maybe even more comprehensive, كُلُّ الْمُسْلِمِينَ عَلَى الْمُسْلِمِ حَرَامٌ. That every part of a Muslim is haram, inviolable. We could say sacred in the larger, broader understanding of that term. For another Muslim, دَمُهُ وَمَالُهُ وَعِرْضُهُ. That his blood is sacred, his blood is inviolable, his wealth is inviolable, and his reputation is inviolable. Now, people make mistakes, and people need correction, and the truth needs to be clarified. But we need to be absolutely sure that when we're clarifying the truth, and when we're attempting to guide people back to the truth, that we are not crossing the line and treating our brothers in faith as if they were kuffar. That there is a certain protocol, there is a certain etiquette, there is a certain way to talk to address to, and to deal with the mistakes of your brother and sister Muslim. It has a higher demand on us than if it were any other else. Or someone who's a zindiq, someone who is trying to literally change Islam, saying that he doesn't believe in the hadith, or he doesn't believe that the prayer is obligatory, these sorts of things. We have to be discerning as Muslims. We do not treat everybody the same. We do not treat your Muslim brother, who is a person of the Shahada, and a person of prayer, and a person of dhikr, and a person who is of the Sunnah. Even if they don't do everything perfectly, they are of the Sunnah and ascribe themselves to the Sunnah. You do not treat them like a zindiq. You do not treat them like a kafir. You do not treat them like somebody else. There are very important aspects of baseline rules and etiquettes that the Prophet ﷺ taught us. And if we're serious, and if we want success in our da'wah, and if we want success in the ummah, then we have to abide by these protocols, and we have to make sure that we play in bounds and that we don't cross the lines. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.